Good morning. This is Diane Barry.
I'm Caitlin Cleary. We are part of the Diane Barry team with William Pitt Sotheby's International Realty based out of Avon, Connecticut. And today we are with our colleague Roman, who is with One Sotheby's down in Southern Florida. And tell us a little bit about the area that you're in and what people like to do.
Thank you so much for having me.
A
Of
pleasure.
course.
Yes, so I'm based in Fort Lauderdale, in Southern Florida, and I do cover actually all the areas. So South Florida basically is everything between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, right? I do personally cover the areas between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Boca Raton, and I service the area together with my team. Okay. What I love so much with this in this area is the diversity that we have. For instance, Miami is the majority of people, the residents in Miami are native Spanish speaking, for instance. They also call Miami the doorstep to the United States, which
Love
I
that.
really find so funny, right?
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale, on the other side, is more Americanized, I would say. So it's very diverse. And just the fact that we are only a 30 minutes drive apart from each other is just makes it very, very interesting. Another thing that I love here in South Florida are the different lifestyles, you know.
Mhm.
So we have, obviously the weather is fantastic year round, right? Even now we are in the middle of winter. We have temperatures in the mid 70s, which is amazing. Some days even low 80s as well. So for that reason, naturally, it's catering to the people that seek for a beach lifestyle, right? So obviously, right, we have a lot of beautiful beach towns. Fort Lauderdale is actually my favorite one for the beaches here in South Florida. Fort Lauderdale is also famous for the yachting industry, right? It is, for instance, called the capital, the yachting capital of the world. We also host the world's largest boat show every October as well. And it also has a nickname to be the Venice of the of America, right?
Love
And
that.
right, and
Yeah.
that is because of the hundreds of different canals we have, right? And the waterways. You could technically almost all the way from Miami all the way up to northern Florida,
Mhm.
go in your boat on the intracoastal, and you don't even have to touch the ocean, right? So it's actually very cool. It's super cool.
I've
Uh,
actually been to the Christmas boat parade on the Intercoastal, which is so beautiful to see people decorate their yachts and have lovely parties as they cruise down the Intercoastal to really launch into the holiday season.
that is a lot of
Beautiful.
fun. A lot of
Yeah.
fun. I love this as
Yeah.
well. It's very unique, right? So,
Yeah.
and then we also have obviously the golf lifestyle. We have, I would say hundreds of golf courses between, well, all over Florida actually, but especially also in South Florida. Equestrian lifestyle as well. We have Southwest Ranches. We have Wellington, where, for instance, you have huge lots, huge houses, mansions, and they cater to that lifestyle. And I don't want to miss the last one, which is actually our vibrant art scene. Miami, especially Miami, is has a vibrant art scene. It's amazing. For instance, once a year we have this famous Art Basel, or actually Art Basel Miami. Art Basel is actually a Swiss company. Some Swiss as well, right? A Swiss company that started in Basel in Switzerland, and Miami was the second hub for them as well. In the meantime, Miami, actually, the art scene became even bigger and more successful than the original one. So it's
You
very
must
exciting.
get an incredible infusion of people that are coming in to see the
Yes,
Art Basel show.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I bet. So what about do your residents typically stay all year, or would you say it's predominantly second homes?
So, I mean, obviously, for Florida is famous overall for the re people that are retired to move here year round. But also, we have a lot of second home buyers, primarily coming from the Northeast United States, but also Canada. And we actually we call them snowbirds, right? Very funny. However, I must say, COVID changed the dynamics a little bit. We have more and more primary people that move their primary residence to South Florida as well. And I would actually say they almost switch it around a little bit, that they stay the majority of the time or all year round in South Florida and maybe have a second home somewhere else, you know. One of the reasons for that is as well, not only the weather, but also the favorable tax environment. For instance, we are one of the 7 states that don't have any income state tax. Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Definitely a plus for people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Can save a lot of money in Florida.
And do you find that you have a lot of international buyers moving into the area as well?
Absolutely. I mean, Miami is actually, the greater Miami area is the #1 area for foreign nationals and international buyers to buy into the area, right? The majority, I would say, come from South America, hence the big population that is Spanish speaking. But we also see Canadians, very popular, especially Fort Lauderdale, Hallandale Beach are typical areas where they look into. And then also, let's not forget the European countries, Germany, Spain, United Kingdom, very, very strong as well in that area. Absolutely.
What do you do to cater to that international community that makes you very unique, Roman?
So as I mentioned briefly before, I'm Swiss myself. So I moved here in 2015 and went straight into real estate, and I love what I do. But what I do especially is I travel a lot globally as well. I visit countries, and with every trip I do, I always connect to my agents, my fellow Sotheby's agents throughout the world, primarily Switzerland, but also United Kingdom and South Africa as well. I do have family down there as well, so I travel like twice a year. And I love doing this. It's so important. Sotheby's for me is the only true global real estate brand. And our network is super powerful. So I do this primarily, you know, to get, of course, have the connections and get referrals. My business is 90% referral based. So
fabulous.
yes, so and that is because I network a lot and travel a lot for that as well, internationally, but also within the United States, of course.
And why do people call you the helicopter realtor?
Well, that's a very good question. So when I joined Sotheby's, I joined with my business partner, who also happened to be a pilot. So he actually created this concept, right, where we would take our buyers into, depending on the price point, of course, right, take them in the helicopter and show them the areas from above ground. So that's super, super cool. I still offer that as well. I even offer the service as well to sellers who basically want to say bye-bye. You know, it's a kind of a closing present as well that I do. Again, depending on the price point, of course.
That's great. Anything else you'd like to add that we should know about you?
I really took the last 5-6 years to really explore and get to know all the areas between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Boca Raton. So that's a specialty that I do. So if a realtor, Sotheby's agent throughout the United States or globally have someone who wants to purchase into South Florida, but they don't really know where exactly to go and what are the difference in areas, I'm really the person. I'm the one that you want, because I can really guide you the right way.
Yeah,
We
and
find
that's so
a-
important these days. I mean, people are really focused on, you know, a lifestyle and being in a close distance to the things they enjoy doing. So I think having somebody who's really familiar with all of the different areas in South Florida is so beneficial.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll say we're very jealous, right? This time of year, especially entering February, which could be a tough month for us New Englanders, that you have the sunshine state in your backyard.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for joining the Diane Barry team today. It's so wonderful to have you in our dynamic network, and we look forward to seeing you in Nashville in September at our global
Absolutely.
networking event.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.